And welcome back, everybody. We're Beyond Movies, and we have just seen Daredevil Born Again. And was it Born Again or Dead on Arrival? And Kyle, we watched it together. I think we're born again, man. We're definitely born again. Come on, we're born again.
I think we're pretty born again.
Yes. Oh, wow. These first two episodes have really let us know what we can expect. They've set the tone. They've left us wanting more. I think they've really reassured us that this is safe in the hands of Disney. They're not going to Disneyfy it because there was nothing Disneyfied about this. I think in some aspects they showed us they can do some stuff better than the original show. But that's just my little thoughts. Kyle, what do you think? Just real quick, and then we'll start discussing it a bit more.
I'm gonna say I'm not gonna say almost perfect, but it's off to a very, very good start. There's a couple of little things. The story seemed quickly. Just to say this, just to narrow down what I'm gonna say. It doesn't feel like a Disney Plus show, so that's a good start. It does feel like a continuation, especially with the story. That's a factor of it, but it's just the fact that because it's a 2 episode premiere, it didn't feel short. Like the episodes felt beefy and they felt really good. But as we get into it, I want to discuss some of the things I
Yeah.
really liked, what's new, what worked. Obviously, spoiler free. This is both for me and Colin. We won't speak spoilers. I mean,
No, come on, I think we can do spoilers.
do
It's
you
a
want to
Disney
do
Plus show.
spoilers?
It's a Disney Plus show. People, if they want to watch it, they can watch it. It's not like they can't
Okay,
make time to get out to theatre. So
fair
yeah.
enough. We'll do spoilers then. So, Foggy fucking dies. I, I mean,
Yeah, and just I suppose we did give a spoiler warning.
we did, yeah. If
And
you, yeah.
this leads on to something that me and Kyle have been talking about since the show got announced, and there wasn't going to be bringing back Karen and Foggy originally. It was they're both going to die off screen, and we were saying the whole time, well, no, bring them back and let us feel that death, let us feel that emotional impact of them dying. This case, just Foggy dying, but boy, we fucking felt it.
I see. I think it was a bold move, and it was definitely a way to sort of like help cement the show and be like, look, we're not going to be, not taking risks here. We're not going to play anything safe.
Yeah,
It's going to be full balls to the wall. Going fully into it. I'm I was emotionally invested with the what happened. Obviously with Foggy, I kind of thought it was going to be Paige. Leading into this, Callum, you had a really good theory that it
well,
would be
yeah,
Paige, and it's a reason for why the Punisher's back.
yeah, yeah.
Apparently not. There's something else there going on, which is intriguing. First off, the positives, as I've said before, it doesn't feel like a Disney Plus show. It doesn't have the annoying tropes of, oh, who's the mystery villain? You get like an equal amount. I'd say
This
probably
is
more
more,
Fisk.
yeah, this is more Fisk and Matt than the first season was because
Yeah.
Fisk don't pop up till the fourth episode in the first season, but this is very clearly this is both their shows.
Yeah, and it's exciting that we're gonna already, it's already season 2 is in the canon. It's it's being made. So um that's something to look forward to. I am very happy with this though, and one of the other positives I'll say as well is the tone of it. It's true to what it says in like the trailers, TVMA. It is that. It definitely does not feel anything like say Moon Knight or anything like that.
Yeah,
It definitely stands on its own. I'd say like it's enhanced in some ways, but some ways, some elements of it
yeah,
have been missed from from the Netflix era of things. Obviously, this thing has a higher budget, so effects um kind of mixed on the
which
effects. The
I'm a
way it
little bit mixed on
looks,
the effects as well.
yeah, the way it looks, like the sort of the visual of it, it's new, it's updated. It still has that tone of it. It does. like when I went back and we watched like a clip from Punisher. I know it's a different show, but it's kind of the same style. It is missing that sort of like run and gun camera film. You know what I mean? Like a smaller budget thing, which
Yeah, yeah.
fair enough, whatever. But for me, it was at the start when he's obviously fighting Bullseye. I don't think the CGI was all that great. I don't think the fighting itself wasn't all that great. It was more of just
I
the watching these characters and them reacting to the situation more than
situation
anything.
around them. Yeah, it was definitely the one they've done with the most at stake. One is a one shot, if anyone don't know. Which obviously there's stitching in that, but they did that in season 3. They did stitching in the one shot as well, where you can kind of tell.
I just want to
But
put in, it's not the strongest fight scene we've seen. I think it's more of just the impact and
impact.
to the story that is.
I
I'm
think
very
the in camera
dark as well.
stuff. Yeah, I think the in camera stuff that they shot, where it were them. Obviously it's hard fighting a character like Bullseye when they're always trying to keep that distance. So they can fling shit at you. Which he flung a lot of shit at him, and he got stabbed so many times because of Bullseye. Just all the stuff hanging out of him, but then the pauses he takes in the fights to listen to, Foggy and Karen, to what's going on out there. The random people that Bullseye's just killing in Josie's bar. What he gets done for 11 counts of murder at the end of that. And that fight, like you say, we're there for the emotional aspect of it, all the way up to that rooftop, him swinging round, Matt being a bit more acrobatic, which the old showrunners of the Netflix show said, we'd have loved to have done that. We just didn't have the budget for that. So they've got the budget there
Yes,
for that now.
but
But does it work?
I don't. I don't want to see that return, that acrobatic thing. I
Well,
think
I
I'm
think it was a
too
bit more toned down than what we saw in She-Hulk.
definitely more toned down. I agree with you on that, but there still is the heavy CGI element, and I get
Yeah,
it. They did have to rework the entire show. They can't keep delaying it for the effects, like hence why it is so dark. And that's it's a technique that they use to sort of hide little things here and there so they can get the thing out quicker. But it kind of hurts it a little bit. But that's just in the action fight scenes.
yeah.
It's we've still got loads to come. I can imagine.
And
I'm
like I
more.
say, when they were working their way up to that roof, and he's on that ledge, and he's just beating him, beating him, beating him, and then he hears Foggy's last heartbeat, and it's so, like you pointed out to me, it's so subtle the way he just tosses him off the roof. It's not in anger. It's not in he's got his anger out. He's like, ugh, screaming at him like, why? And he just
He's
then
had enough.
he's had enough and just pushes him off so gently, which people were going to say, well, he didn't kill Bullseye. No, he didn't. But you think for about a good minute and a half that he did kill Bullseye, and the intent was there. So in Matt's head, he has crossed that line. He did try to kill someone. But I just want to jump right to the end of the 2 episodes as well. I think that action sequence was a lot stronger and felt very similar to the old Netflix show than this opening one. I love the opening one for the emotional aspect of it. But the last one that we see, I just says to you when he's getting beaten on fire, so he's going to let the devil out, and he fucking does. And that was quite a funny scene as well, going into it. I remember we all laughed out loud. When he's like, which way did he go? He's like, well, I'm visually impaired. So.
Yeah, I will say in the second episode, the last fight of that was a lot better. It just felt very short though. It was more of just like Matt clearing the room with of 2 guys. So I wouldn't necessarily that was a fight. I'd say it's more of like an action set piece. It's a very small action set piece.
But then again,
yeah,
shows you the tone, and it's like they ain't holding back.
Yeah, there's one thing I will say. There's I don't know if it's like maybe a pacing thing, or if it's just we have to see the full story to sort of like really get into it. But I'm not saying I was finding it boring or anything, but I was finding it a bit like all right, come on, let's keep going. And like every scene we had was interesting, and like I said, I'm really happy with what we got. It's a very good start, but I just feel like I don't know, there's something kind of missing there. I feel like the it was in the second episode where Kingpin he resorts to blackmailing the commissioner to stay as the commissioner,
Yeah,
and it just didn't feel like like I don't know. It's hard to describe, but the way visually and with the sound and things like that, there was no sort of impact there. It was just kind of, oh, lifting up my sandwich wrapper,
yeah,
subtle image there, and putting it down, like, and the characters all interact with that information now. But it just feel like that it's kind of missing that kind of blah thing. But still, I'm very much looking forward to it. It's got me hooks already. I'm glad we got the 2 episode premiere. I think if we did get the second episode, because the second episode is, both are quite slow, but second
yeah,
slows it even more. Yeah, I'm very happy to be back into this world though. I will say, and it was emotionally tearing to see Foggy, die. You know, I just watched the final episode of season 3, and obviously he's in that, but not quite a bit. But Foggy's been in it since day one. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And it's powerful shit, man.
yeah. I know. I completely. I think the whole thing. I think the beginning of episode 1 was all Matt's stuff, and then Fisk makes his entrance, which is brilliant. By the way, when he walks into that mob meeting and they're all just shit the pants immediately, just like oh. And I kind of feel like these 2 episodes are like the bread is the Matt Murdock stuff at either side of it, but the real meat of these first 2 episodes were Fisk. You learn a lot about what's going on with him. You know, I really thought the mayoral campaign would have gone on throughout the entire episode, throughout the entire season, but he's mayor by the end of episode 1. So it's going to be interesting how we see that. Seems like he's already got his vigilante task force up and running, like trying to bait vigilantes into acting. And then you do see one of them with that Punisher tattoo on the wrist. So that's going to be a very interesting. So that's probably going to be the thing that gets Frank back into it. Like, these pieces of shit ain't using my symbol. So
Yeah.
yeah, which is very, very true in real life as well.
Yeah, we could have a conversation about
Yeah,
that, but we're not going to.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm very happy with this though. My earphones are dying, so I'm going to try and wrap it up. But I'm very happy with this show. It's got, it still has that conversations that they have between these characters. They're all
this
great.
this conversation were brilliant. That they
Yes. Yeah. It was, obviously they had to cut it up for the trailers, but when you see it in full, it flows nicely. There's a lot of tension there. You do see Fisk as this new person, but then you sort of, you get little hints of the old school Fisk there, the Kingpin,
yeah,
as you would say. So, yeah, I'm very happy with this show, though, and I'm very excited. It's so nice to be back into this world, Callum, and it's not even been all that, it's been a couple of years, yeah, but it just, I don't know, it's it's a relief that we're back, and
yeah.
it is season 4. You can't argue against it now. It is season 4.
And
Um,
I think it's been
right
a
from the
long
get go.
time. It's been a long time since we've done this, but I genuinely want to watch every episode with you. Usually it's like, fuck it, I'll watch it when I get home. Cool, whatever. I'm gonna make an effort, so we're watching it together every week
100%.
because it'll be fun like that. But yeah,
It will
no,
be fun.
definitely. I'm gonna give both these first 2 episodes. I'm gonna give the first one a 9.5, and I'm gonna give the second one a 9. Going.
Okay.
So
I I for me, I give the first episode a solid 9. The issues with the CGI kind of, that's why it kind of retracts the, you know, uh, pushing it to a 10 perfection for me. But the second episode, I agree with you. I think it definitely goes down a point. or half a point. I'm probably going to give it probably an 8.5, maybe an 8, depending. It does slow things down, but it does progress the story still further.
Yeah,
I'm just hanging on now to get to episode 3 and continue what happens to find out what happens next.
yeah. I like I said, I can't wait week to week now. I am hooked. I've got a feeling that they know what they're doing. I'm excited for season 2. I'm excited to see all these episodes here. I'm excited to see what they do with characters like the Punisher. Obviously, we get little teasers of Muse in this. We see him painting. I believe he's also the same person that went to Matt's girlfriend's therapy book thing. So, yeah, we're. I feel like we're back, and I feel like Matt's girlfriend story ain't going to end too good either. Just with that connection there. So
Yeah,
it's going to be very
it never
tragic.
ends well for him. Yeah.
No.
It's, do you know what though? I mean, Paige wasn't really in these episodes much. I can imagine she's probably not in the show all that much, but I can imagine that she'll show
She's
up
returning for
again.
season 2.
That's good, but I can imagine she'll be there for sort of like some emotional beats, because this character's already been developed. We've had like so, such great arcs previously, that it's fine that I'm not saying I don't want to see more Karen
Yeah.
Page. I'm just saying it's fine that she's not heavily in this,
Yeah.
at least in the start of this season.
Oh, and do you know what? Just before we go, we've gone on about the old characters and everything. I just want to give a quick shout out to the new characters. I feel like the new characters have, kind of come in and kind of stood their own. The ex-cop that Matt's working with, McDuffie, his law partner, and Ben Urich's niece, I believe. Also, James Gandolfini's son, I believe. Or Mike, is it Michael Gandolfini? His son, I think it's James Gandolfini. Who, yeah. Anyway, they've all been great. So, yeah, can't wait for next week, guys. Let us know what you think about Daredevil Born Again. Are we Disney shills? Or I fucking wish we was because they'd fucking pay us, and we get to see episodes early, especially if it's this good. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and we will see you. Probably a Mickey 17 review. Will probably be the next thing we do.
Probably.
So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and see you later.